Hey y'all, we are back for another installment of, I'm calling it Family Don't Matter, because this is a good example. You know, this video book and all, because you don't really even have to watch me. You can just sit at work and listen, because I know that these stories you're going to be able to relate with. I just know it, because the energies, when I tell you, like, all of us can relate. When the other readers and stuff are doing the collective reading, we can relate because we share those energies. All of us, even on the karmic side, we share those energies, those same energies. It's just the way that we go about it. Which one are you? Because I know that I'm the divine. Throughout my whole entire life, I've stood as the divine. Trying to do right by others. You know, but in return, I always get the short end of the stick. It just goes like that. So, welcome back. I'm finding this day to just be a day of being here in peace, home alone, and getting as many stories that I can get out today. We're going to go for as long as I possibly can, because I get to speak freely. I do. So I'm going to utilize this time. I can only record when I'm alone, because trust me, if anything is said, because right now the energies is to turn my reputation upside down. They want y'all to think that I'm a hypocrite, that I'm just on here just playing around. They probably even think that I'm getting money from viewers and all that, you know, stupid stuff that they think. I ain't collected one dime from social media just yet. Not one dime. But they scared because they see it coming. And just how interesting I am. And when those numbers seem to keep rising every day. They focused on my numbers and afraid that their mama is about to get famous and they're going to be left behind. And they are absolutely right. Okay? So, we talked about my oldest. And I want to talk about my youngest daughter. Now, I'm going to be talking about those two together, because this was the darkest period in my life. And yet, I'm still patting myself on the back how I overcame and conquered it. When they tried their best, they pulled out everything that they could possibly pull out, and they still lost. Okay? I met her father, the youngest. Her and her brother have the same dad. And I actually met him, of all places, through Channel 4 News, my cousin. You know, back in the days, getting together with family, it used to be a great time. I can't even sit here and hold you on that one. We used to have a good time. Sunday dinners and all that. But what goes up must come down. So it stopped. I don't even know why. I don't know why. But it stopped. Maybe because they got tired of hosting. Well, don't start something and if you don't plan to finish it. Because that was a major ordeal. It was. Because us getting together like we did, that's what families should be doing. And that's why we should be honest, because if you do have something going on and you just can't do it no more, just say that. So maybe somebody else can pick up the torch, which they tried. We tried to keep it going, but it diminished. And it was sad to see it go. Sunday dinners. Everybody participating, bringing a dish. We eating good every Sunday. Seeing each other, family members, every Sunday. Like that. That's how family should be, with no arguments, and never in any of those Sundays was it ever an argument. It was a good time getting together on the couch or in the bedrooms, master bedrooms, chilling on the beds, having conversation. We're family. We're all at home. So we just in different parts of the house, hanging out, enjoying one another comfortably. Never no arguments. Like that. Channel 4, she would get them together. She loved to cook. Loved to cook. Loved to fry foods. Probably the best chicken fry in the world. I don't know. Because throughout her whole entire life, she been frying chicken too. But I met my 2 youngest children's father through her. Didn't have no idea that they had company this day. But I knew that they was going to barbecue because she and her husband had a house, and honey, the barbecue, you know, these gnats bother me, the fruit flies and all bother me. But she was barbecue all the time. I mean, she was a hostess. She always, you know, held the little get-togethers. We always, you know, us being young, she had the home. She accommodated, you know, the hangout spot. She provided that. We can go and kick our feet up and enjoy one another. She did. She was the first to come into that. And we enjoyed that. Had a good time. Those was actually some good days of ours as adults. They were. But I'm invited. Of course, you know, it's a get together. We talk. We talk on a regular. So if something going down, hey, you know, and they went too far away, I ain't have to call to show up. If I knew they was home, drive down the road, go hang out, kick it, lay up on the couch, kick my feet up like that. If I wasn't fighting off her husband, because he always made every situation awkward. But see, y'all ask, well, why did you keep going around? Because Channel 4 News happened to be my favoriteest cousin. Even though, yeah, back then I felt like her and her husband was in some type of competition with me and who I was with. But I didn't let that stop me from that being my favorite cousin. It was. She just my cousin. Okay? So, I go, get out the car, knock on the door, and I look up, and it's their dad. I've never seen him or met him in my entire life. I see him for the first time. Now, the devil knows that I love to eat. I've always loved to eat. That's why I was there. I'm ready to eat. Barbecue too. We love us some barbecue. Okay? And they love to barbecue. And all it was lighting the grill and bring your meat. Provide the meat, whatever meat you want to, just to add to it, that to get the meal that we was getting. And we got cooks all in the kitchen. We was eating good. But here he come. He opens the door. He's new. You know, I don't even know why he's answering the door. Maybe Channel 4 News knew exactly what she was doing. I just feel that for some reason, every time I go back to that particular scene. But he opens the door, invites me in to my cousin's home. And, you know, they introduce us, and that was it. And then we just talking, the usual talk. The family, you know, everybody that's there, we're talking about food, because I love me some food. And I wanted some chicken legs, because I ain't see no chicken legs in sight. That's before I decided to start liking on thighs. Well, really breast. I like breast now because I've learned how to cook a good chicken breast. Somebody in my family been cooking dry chicken breast to cause me not to ever want any dark meat for me, nothing else. Well, we like us some white meat because I finally, like what? I'm the only cook in the family anyway. The best one, let's just say that. We got many, but I'm the best one. And I'm going to keep that. You can try, go take you a couple of cooking classes and all that, but honey, the only thing that I ever watched back in the day was the Food Network. I don't need to write down no recipes. All I got to do is taste it and I make it. They know it. They'll lie and tell you, no, she ain't that. But yet and still, all of them done sit at that table waiting for me to get done in the kitchen. Just a little sidebar. But I mentioned that I want some drumsticks. And the person that invited me into my cousin's house decided to go and give me some drumsticks. Only if I would have known then, because when temptation comes in like that, they're trying to give you everything that you want without you even asking. Really. But in conversation, if it helps to just know this is your time to step in, and he did. And we went from there. So with that, get down, spirit. Get down. That's him. Oh, hold on, y'all. Hold on. He got to get in his cage. Hold on. Be right back. Okay, y'all. So here he is. He presents himself. He's already doing all the right things. Seem to know that I like to eat and he don't mind going to get it. You can't always, accept every offer, I guess. And I accepted his. He went and bought a pack of chicken legs. And we put them on the grill. And we had 2 kids together. Now, he is the one that introduced me to smoking Black and Milds that I smoked for many of years, even when I was no longer with him. Weed, heavy weed head. He smoked, well, he's from California. And when I say he smoked weed, he smoked weed. He stayed high. All the time. All the time. And unfortunately for me, because he stayed high, I truly didn't get to know from the start who he truly was until we moved in together. Well, he moved in with me because he's from California. He's new here. And here it is. We enjoying life together. Got me a new man. New chance at love, I guess. Family life. He seems to be a good fit. We had fun together. We complimented each other. He even said that. I still remember those words because him even being younger than me, about 5 years, we did. Because I ain't never looked, if we was together, you couldn't tell my age. The way that I carried myself, you could. You could tell that I would be older than him because the language could have been a little different, but we were still able to communicate. It wasn't like that he came across as a child, but he began to act like one. I actually started to see the true colors. When an individual can't get their way like that. So, yeah, just like I've said before, some people know the story. But we started having fun together. It's me, him, and Tay. And fortunately for him, he liked children because he treated Tay like his own. Would pick her up from daycare and everything. Take her to daycare, watch her, all that. And fortunately for me, those times was great then, to where we didn't have to worry about, just leaving our children with men who want to sit up at home all day and really not pay attention to the kid, which I really can't tell you to this day, but I have asked Tay before, when I was, in her adult age, if anything has ever happened to her in anybody's care that I've left her with. And she told me nothing that she can remember. In that age, trust and believe, she would have made some type of noise that she don't want to be left with him. I know it. But he cared. He did care about her. He cared about kids. That part, that much I do know. But conceiving my firstborn son with him, I saw the devil come through him. And it makes sense. It makes sense. I know it's the truth, because the way that I see now, that was just the first of me tapping into the spiritual realm that I'm already a part of, that I'm already tapped into. I just don't know what's going on, but it presented itself there in hopes that I would get it on down the line, and here we are. I get it. Because the image that I saw during that sexual encounter, because we used to party, smoke, and have, and all of this, yeah. Tay was asleep, good and sleep in her toddler bed. But me as a mother, even though she was right over there, we was on the side of her. Right there. But trust me, honey. Because if it's one thing that I've always did, is protect my kids from stuff that they don't need to be seeing. And we stayed up many of nights. Long, I'm talking about in hours. That's how, and it was routine. So that's how I know, honey. And even him, that culture was brought because he was comfortable with staying up all times of the night, even with working. He could comfortably stay up all night long and still go to work. And I just started forming into his habit. But my child there, while Nene was with my grandmother for that year, she never witnessed nothing. Nothing. She knew him. She knew him. They know him. They know each other's fathers. So they know. But I can say that when it came to the kids in that area, I didn't have no problem with him there. But when I started producing his children, that's when he want to walk away. Because he can't deal with me. He don't want to be with me pregnant. I've had the baby and all of this. Because, he don't want to be with me. He don't understand the hormones. Shoot, I hardly understand him. I understand. He's moved on. Now I'm left in a depressed state. All of that. My feelings are hurt. And I end up giving birth to a premature child. My son was born 2 months early and still considered full-term healthy like that. He had to stay in the NICU for about a month because I was driving back and forth every day up and down 75 to Presbyterian Hospital in Dallas from South Dallas to nurse my son back to health. And his father, his dad, he was just, he'll get to you when he get to you. It was just like this. He didn't come to sit. He just came to see And then when he came in smelling like weed in the NICU. And it was so strong. I got so upset. I had to tell them, please do not allow him back around my son in the NICU. So they had to monitor. It was a no, if he come in there smelling like weed smoke, he cannot visit. No, like this is what I started dealing with. He already had left, got with somebody else, and moved to California during the time that my son is in NICU. I'm staying with my grandmother now, because I've stayed with a couple of family members and stuff, pregnant with my son. Ended up where it's always home, my grandmother's house. Going through it. My doctor's visits. Being told that I have STDs. One anyway. And I could only get it from one person. And it makes perfectly good sense why he was sick every morning. I was missing all the signs. But yet, I bore a child from it. They gave me the medication that I need to get rid of it while I was pregnant. Ain't no telling, was that really okay for the baby? I don't know. But I really feel like it was just stress. Because here it is. I'm sneaking into, in and out of my sister's place because me and her into it. Just to find a way to lay my head down. My friend invite me over to her house to stay. But seeing that I don't have nowhere to go, when it comes time for her to want to be with her men, I gotta go somewhere. I can't do that. I have a small child that she wants to first off think that she named, and then think that I'm gonna sit up here and title you as a godmother, and you putting me in her, and I'm sitting up here telling you, but penis is more important. That's where we been. Me and Tay. Me struggling. Homeless. Looking for a place. Sneaking into my sister's apartment that I still got the key to. Just to lay down, making sure I don't move stuff around too much to where she would notice. Just so it's not obvious if I need to come back here, is stuff undisturbed. Because she just had an apartment. I don't even know where she was. I think she was staying with my mom. I don't even know. Or it was, I can't even remember. But I do remember doing that. I'm sure she'll remember, but she probably don't remember that. But that's what I was doing. It only happened probably once, I believe. As a matter of fact, it did just once. Until I found a true place to go, and it's always back to my grandmother's house. And my thing is, I didn't even want to go back there. I didn't. Because I know she ain't trying to see me as no failure, but that's what I was feeling like. But me with Tay on my hip as a 2-year-old, carrying her up and down stairs and stuff, I could see how my placenta could have torn away from the wall. I said uterus earlier. My placenta had actually torn away from the wall. So me putting that pressure on my hip, carrying her upstairs, I can see. And being stressed out and stuff, it makes sense. Not having any help. Worried about what he's doing and who he's doing it with. And he not even around. He way in California. But I'm sitting around waiting on his phone call, still like that, until it finally fades. And then when it fades, because I'm more focused on taking care of my son, because he's home now. I've built a backbone finally. But I still let him manipulate the situation. He sees me and hears me stronger now. Getting myself together, back at work. Getting back on my feet, go find my own place. And he set it up. He's the devil. And lies to the girl that he took to California, moved back there with, while his son is in NICU. And to get it together, brought her back to Dallas. Make it seem like, you know, okay, I'm going to drive you back. And then I'm going to go back and come back like that. But all along, he was taking her back to be through, so he can come and be with me and his son. And that's what it was. He came here, thought he was going to lay up for a minute, which I said, you know, you can go ahead and just chill out for a moment. Because he just drove her, you know, moved her back to Dallas, manipulated that situation, then came back on the bus. Well, he rode back on the bus, I believe, and then ended up coming back. It went some type of way, but he ended back here, back in my home, for it to start all over again. Me to get right back on that roller coaster. This time, he's going to get me on his turf, because things are starting to fall apart. Because he ain't supposed to be there either. Delays are being created. He's starting to drag me down. And I don't notice it, because I just have a man in my life. Somebody in my bed. So now we're in a situation, when I once had another nice home, not even an apartment, a home that I was renting. And it just started to fall apart to where, you know, I'm having to hide my car. We having to do ignorant stuff. Calling grocery stores and, you know, looking for him and calling over, because I know where he's going, but getting the calls that I was getting, the harassing calls I need for him to get back to the house, doing stuff that I should have known, like, what is going on? But those was red flags. It's crumbling again. So now we gotta go. We ain't got no choice but to go. So we hit the road. Packed up what we could, rented a U-Haul, because now the car is gone. We don't have a car no more. The car got repoed. And all of this, I actually came back up for it to fall right back down. I'm talking about fast. Real fast. Because he wasn't even supposed to be there, but I allowed it. My focus, as our focus, should always be on our children. And even though I wasn't seeing a whole lot of red flags with him, the major one is when his mom came to town. And she's always been the master manipulator in that family. She wants to control everything. She wasn't going to get to control the relationship that I had with her son. She's one of those that wants to know about her son's sex life. She's one of those. Want to know how big it is. One of those. I think she was more interested in being with me than anything, with the slip of the kiss. And I'm going to leave it at that. It just became weird, but she became an enemy as well. And what they still try to do, and I believe to this very day, honey, you are wasting your time. And it shows all in y'all face how much time y'all have wasted, stressed out and worried about what I'm doing. these kids' father and their family. Them. His wife and everything. But that's what it is. That's their dad. Here it is. Car gone. Get us a U-Haul, pack it up, spend a couple of days on the road with the kids. Nice little road trip. Us as a family headed to California to stay with his mama. It went well for a little bit until, like I said, the true colors started to show. Of course they're going to try and test me. You know, to the point to where I had to even end up fighting with his aunt. Why? You know, we pay the bills here. His mom ended up moving out, leaving her husband there with us for us to take care of. Because she moved in with another man, or moved with her boyfriend and went to be with another man. Let's just say that. Just went and got home another place to be with another man. And just left us there like that. We didn't mind. Because he was cool. I had great conversation with him. I did. And they just chose a reason to just want to be angry and upset. Like thinking that because baby, I don't know if it's just a thing and y'all just don't like Texas because of how big it is. And what y'all heard, which is correct. But I guess they was going to try me. And they did. You know, I'm getting the police called on me. You the one showed up at my house. I stay here. I pay the bills here. And I'm on the phone and you're mad because I'm on the phone and I won't get off because you need to use the phone. We pay these bills here. This is in my name. It's in our name. The bills, the light bills, and all at the phone, yes. Because the mama left. So if y'all still calling over here to talk to, you know, y'all relative, we're not going to say no names, but they're, you know, the man who was left there with us. And y'all can't wait till I get off the phone. I'm not trying to just hold the phone up just so y'all can't talk. I'm actually on the phone. And they get mad and come to the house. And want to get up in my face. Got the nerve to get up in my face. Honey. And me not even knowing. And I'm pregnant too. You done messed with the wrong one. So how I like to think of it, because that's just the image that I got, like a puppet on a string. I had to send her dancing. Don't play with me because, see, like I said, God has always been on my side, and this is a big old gal. Representing sets and stuff. Well, you know, he was more scared than I was because her son was a major gangbanger. Repping set. We in Inglewood, honey. And her grown behind repping sets. But when her son got word of what really happened, they daddy could be through being scared. Because he was peeping through the windows and cracks and it closing blinds and everything. Scared that they had me. Dang, it's like that. They don't leave it. But no, that's between. She got herself caught up. She went over there. When the cops came, it wasn't me. They asked her if she needed an ambulance. She the one that left her job. Left work. Just imagine. You went to work looking one way and then you go back looking another. Leaving your job trying to be fancy. You got to learn how to know when God is on somebody's side. Leave people alone if you don't know or if you can't tell. Because she got dealt with. Little old me, to the point to where their dad, would even make fun of her and bring me up every time just to get a good old laugh, just to upset her. He told me that himself. That tickles him. Bringing up my name. A lot of people. My name upsets a lot of people. But we're in California. I can't do this anymore. Got a chance to see Disneyland and everything. They remember. Tay remember a little bit. I don't know about the other one. But they got a chance to see Disneyland. We did. That was the last thing that we did before we hightailed it on back to Texas. And we came on back. We got us a car now because, you know, I took $900 of my money because I was making plans. I want to go home. I don't want to be here no more. I want to go home. It wasn't meant for me to be there in the first place because I was running. I really was. Running from situations. But I'm ready to go home. So we made it happen. Got a car. And we hightailed it. Back to Texas. Staying with my sister. She was good to welcome us back. Because now she got a babysitter. We could, you know, like barter. You letting us stay here. Because it was a lot of them in that one bed. It was a lot of us in the one bedroom. It was her children, and then me and mine, and then him. And of course, he ain't gonna live there like that forever. Not like that. He gonna go and find him another woman, just like he did, especially because I'm pregnant again. So that's just what he did. Now that we're all there, it's a man in the house. Now my sister's boyfriend wants to move in. He's there now. Now, you know, we're enjoying each other. You know, the little space that we're all occupying, it fit us well. We maneuvered around it where she actually had a 2-bedroom. It was a 2-bedroom, actually. I believe so. So we maneuvered around well in that space around her and her family. I can say that my sister, she's opened her door to me a lot of times, but it never ends well because it's always for her benefit. When you're thinking that we just looking out for each other, she's really looking at what she can gain from it. But I got to take advantage of the situation too, because I don't have nowhere else to go. So now we're staying with her, sleeping on the floor, pretty much. Pregnant, air mattress. And he's gone looking for somebody else. He finds somebody else and wants to, you know, take the car that I just put the down payment on. Scared of the system when I really could have did it myself. I allowed him to go and get it in his name with my money. We came back with a practically brand new car. Not brand new, but it was up to date. A family car. I think like one of them Sebring type looking cars. And he left me where I was in that car riding around with other women. The woman, you know, the first that he married. Until honey, no, you're not fixing to do this to me. But let me tell you, I don't want to get into each and every detail here because I'm still going to write a book. But everything that I was going through, frustration, anger, madness, just whatever you want to think of, depression, yet again, my heart is being broken. You leaving me like this once again. pregnant. And on all days, y'all, 9/11. And he had the nerve to call me and tell me that she needed him more. Just like some white people shit. And that was it. I'm pregnant. He couldn't come back. He could not come back. That was it. He went and moved in with her. Now he's doing his own thing. I'm doing my own thing. I'm raising yet another child on the way. When he assured me, because I cried when I found out I was pregnant, and he intentionally got me pregnant. That's the thing about it with the last one. He did it on purpose, and I know that he did it on purpose. And when I called crying to him that I was pregnant, he said, don't worry about it. But I had everything to worry about, because I ended up right back in the situation that he left me in before. And yet I had to do it again. Now I got my 4th child, a single mother of 4, living with my sister, getting food stamps, putting them in the house, taking care of the kids, even teaching them, running like a little daycare, recess time and all that. I was even taking care of other people's kids for a little bit. The house was big enough. God always provided and made it to where it would never really be uncomfortable for nobody if I was to go back in under their roof. But a lot of times my sister has opened up the door for me. But a lot of the times she needed me there more than I needed to be there. But it's just to the point to where when a good thing goes on, people find it to where they get too comfortable and want to think, well, you really need me more than I need you. They don't think about how you got free daycare. You know, you don't think about stuff like that. How you are free from having to pay expensive daycare. How you got somebody cooking, even though me and her boyfriend, we used to throw down in the kitchen. We used to eat good wherever I went. Wherever I was at, we was eating good. Because I like to eat and I like to cook. And fast food, we had too many kids going on for fast food. We had to cook. So we was always thinking of different themes. Like if it was Subway night, grand sandwiches, honey. The fix, the works. If it was, just like I still do it to this very day. The experience is going to be there, whatever we're having. Like that. So it was great times. It was, but now that I look back, it was just always to the next person's benefit, or if I try to step in because I'm uncomfortable with the situation that I see my family member in, say for instance, them fighting or him fighting on her. Like fighting, like physically fighting. And I'm like scolding her, like, why do you want to continue to stay in this? Because the situation really was an abusive situation for her. It was. But I'm the one that they take their anger out on when I'm only saying, why do you choose to stay like this in this? Why you can't leave? Why you can't leave him alone? And then when it happens, it's my fault. Because the last go round for them, they actually ended it. And she stayed depressed for a long time, to the point to where I had to end up picking up the pieces and taking care of her children, feeding them and all that. Because she was that depressed, wouldn't even come out of her room until I finally had to say something. And she got mad at me and moved out. Left me just there, but we'll get to it. Because right now, just where I was is what I want to say is kind of where I am when it comes to where the kids are. Because the youngest one, a newborn, we're staying with my sister. Until that don't work no more, her boyfriend leaves. They get into it too bad to where it's time for him to go. He leaves, but everything is my fault. We move from there to another spot. Me and her together, thinking me and her can do something. But moving, you know, she's still dealing with the depression of what she went through, you know, and them not being together, breaking up. Like I said, she stayed in that room many a days, never coming out, not even to check on the kids, because she was comfortable in knowing that I was around. And then when I said something, she moved out. I can't afford it by myself. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't even work. I'm providing benefits still to them, like from living with her in the house, you know, and then us moving together, and she's still kind of bringing the majority of it in while I'm still providing. It's like I'm still staying with her like that, really. Before she moves out. Because I don't know even why. Because I just simply said I can't keep doing this every day, because she gets to be depressed all day long and not even be bothered with her own kids. So she moved out. And now I'm there by myself, having to find a job, but God is still providing. I'm taking care of them. They're in daycare because I'm getting CCMS and stuff. The kids are in daycare. You know, I've had my bouts with daycare. You know, you just can't be too trusting of anybody. But I've had the dealings with, you know, with my son. He's a preemie, and I got to go back to work. And all of the details are laid out, and yet she's putting a dirty diaper in the same bag with his bottles. And I have to inquire about that. I can't just let that go, because he needs to be in a space, you know, we've already discussed it. And she felt some type of way about me bringing it up and want to play me for a sucker. And see, this is an individual, that was referred. I got the information from a relative that knew this person. And I just thought it was great. I did a tour and everything. But why does it have to always be me that have to speak up and say something? Because this is unacceptable. You look like you're running, you know, a real establishment here, but you know that this can't go. You're putting, even though it's in a bag, you're putting it in there with his bottles. No, you could have just left it on the outside. This is the clean area. Even if he got dirty bottles in there, this still is considered the clean area, and this is the dirty area. So you're not real. And when she tried to try me for saying something about that, I had to call who I needed to call, honey. That's how we play. I'm not going to go back and forth with you. If you really want to, and especially when it comes to my kids, and you know that he's premature and everything that's going on, and I guess you feel like I'm trying to control you. So, and me just simply saying and asking, you know, about the dirty diaper being in with his bottles, you feel some type of way. It was just me coming through, needing to do what I needed to do. You wasn't real. But we got that shut down real quick, because we don't play when it comes to the children. You pretend nice, big, pretty house that you got, how you got it laid out, beautiful, but you don't care enough. I do. And especially when it comes to my children, honey. So that was that. They didn't go there no more. Well, he didn't. He didn't. Jail. I'm going to cut that out. I'll try. But she wasn't yet born during that time. That was just him. But before she's born, we've been to California and back. And now, like I said, she's running around. She's about 1 or 2. Running around. I don't have no help. Ain't nobody there. I'm not getting no child support or nothing. I'm trying to make it work. Do you hear me? Started selling plates. Coming out from, where we used to stay. Tried to pick that back up. Tried to start a business. It was only in the making. It was only in the making. Before we really got it to going. But I was a single mother of 4 struggling and taking any and every job that I could just to make ends meet. And so we wouldn't be eating the same stuff every day. We was eating noodles, but I souped them up for the kids. If I had to put some links, some extra sausage or something. But we was poor in that manner. We couldn't eat. I was riding around in a 1971 Omni and was proud of it because it was 4 wheels and it was a nice car that God left for me. That owner took care of that car, honey. And if I had that car, ain't no cars being built like that car was. I didn't care about nobody and what they had to say when it came to what car I was driving. I was able to get around and do what I needed to do for my kids. They can tell you that. But I've been to the point to where I've been stressed out too. Trying to raise them, trying to figure stuff out. That's a mother. Not knowing when your next meal is going to come. Struggling with them. But it always came. And when I got good on my feet and knew, okay, I got this time. Ain't nobody else coming in. Even had their dad begging me to come back on his knees. As tall as he is, he dropped all the way down to his knees to come back. The devil. And I said no. He's with somebody begging me. He's there to drop the kids off. But with somebody else begging, like wanting to cry. No. Tried to kiss me. I'm in there working. Because this is when the catering business really take off for about 1.5 years. Tried to kiss me, I guess, to see if the magic was still there. Well, it wasn't for me. I guess it was for him, honey, because he dropped all the way down to his knees. Like somebody hit him in the back of his knees with a bat. And I said no, and I meant it. Because before this last time that he came begging, right before that, we had our last rendezvous. And I told him, just seeing it wasn't even the same. He watching too much porn. And that just lets me know that he ain't getting it like he need to get it. And some of the things that he's told me, it'll be in my book. We're not going to put it here like that. But that just goes to show that when you come across an earth angel, you will never, ever come across anything else like it. No one else will ever be able to meet those expectations that you're looking for. And what you're looking for is in that earth angel. You'll never find it. Because these people that I deal with in this way, they become something totally different that I don't even recognize. Like she liked to say, oh, he acts like a grandfather now. Oh, really? Because he was vibrant and bubbly when he was with me. I always want to do something. Yeah. So he just sound boring now. But that's their dad. So now here it is. I'm establishing things again. Getting back on my feet. Taking care of my kids still as a single mother. Got that home to where they're all here up under one roof. All 4 of them. And things, you know, that's just what's to be expected. For me anyway, because I'm not going to never stop giving up. And I'm not going to be the one to depend on nobody. No government assistance, nothing like that. I'll use it in the meanwhile, but in the meanwhile, I'm looking for a job too. I like to go like that. I like to be paid what I'm worth. Or at least what I think I'm worth for the moment, to at least get me by, to live comfortably and have enough just for me and my kids, a roof and food. And that's what I've been doing all along. And here we are. I always stayed in a house or a duplex or something because it was the most comfortable with kids. Always. God provided that because that's what I wanted for me and my children. Always. None of them can tell you that we ever stayed in some crummy home. How they're living right now, they were not brought up like that. Living dirty, nasty, foul, with roaches and rats. No. They were not. But here come their dad. You know, I'm established, I'm good, I'm taking care of my kids. And he has a problem because I don't call him enough so he can see what his kids is doing. He had the nerve to ask me why you don't call me so I can check on my kids. Ain't you supposed to be calling? Because see, he wants to control. He wants to see if I'm really truly still there. That's really what it is. And it irks him to know that I'm not calling. And it lets him know at the same time, oh, she's really moved on. Because I remember even introducing him to my estranged husband of 4 years. And the look in his eyes when he went to shake him, that hand, really, he calls it, you know, that's his shakedown because he likes to test men when it comes to handshakes and stuff. So I'm sure that he probably cracked some knuckles in doing so, but the look in his eyes during the introduction, he was truly hurt. Because I don't think that he truly believed that I was going to truly move on. And I did. And you get to see it for yourself. Now, once he's out doing his thing, I've always been a great mother. He's even told this. He come over, get the kids. You know, he's doing his thing. I'm doing my thing. We're co-parenting. But I guess when it gets too much for him, he wants to create a problem with me. In and out, you know, just doing weird things. But I really don't pay it no mind. I just go on because, like I said, I'm still going to live. I'm still going to live and continue on. But now he wants to start trying to go through the courts to establish some type of visitations and all this kind of stuff, because now he got somebody in his corner. They really don't like the kids, and the proof is in the pudding. But to get me completely out of the picture, so it won't be as much running back and forth, so she can be comfortable in knowing that her husband ain't with me anymore, she puts that in his life. Now it's time for him to want to gain custody of the children. They don't have no real proof. They created. They called CPS on me, making up stuff. I threw myself a 40th birthday party. The kids upstairs, they can't come down. We had people sending food and drinks up there to them because they could not come down. And he went and told CPS that I was having a party, serving drinks and alcohol around the children, which it was drinks and alcohol downstairs, outside, and in the kitchen area, because the party was outside. But see, they was gathering information from somewhere else to make this up. And went and told CPS that I was having a party around the kids, serving alcohol. Made it up just to get the ball to rolling. Yeah. And of course, they never can tell you who did it. But to hear stories like that, to hear how grand it was, how nice it was, that angers them. To know that she's truly moved on, and here's more confirmation. She's not thinking about y'all. It's being brought to y'all just to get the ball rolling, so you just need for me to be heard. So now he has a new woman in his life, and she's talked him into getting the kids, get custody. Let's just have them all. And that's what they do. Now I'm being drugged in and out of court, you know, thinking while I got the devil screaming, they ain't gonna take them kids. They ain't gonna take them kids. Well, they took them. Because my thing is, don't they have to have some type of reason? Don't I need to be a bad mother or strung out on drugs or something? We go to church. My kids go to school. They are involved in boys and girls activities and all that kind of stuff. All of that. But the devil is, they ain't gonna take them kids. They gotta have something. They gotta have something. But yet they took them kids. They took them kids behind my back. I couldn't speak. I couldn't even say my part. My lawyer was brand new. I done spent out all this money that I don't even have trying to come up with this money. He want me to think that he got a lot of money. He got $10,000 in his pocket right now, as he mentioned in the courtroom. You know, the devil just want me to be mad. We're in the courtroom. You know, it makes sense to why my kids blew up like a blowfish. She's serving them stuff that they don't even eat. I was pretty much how we ate and how I eat today. It stayed on a healthy kick. If anything that they was eating a lot of, it was a lot of pasta, hamburger helper, Velveeta shells and stuff like that. But they never blew up the way that they blew up when they got with that family, drinking sodas and juice and all this stuff that I didn't allow them to drink. That makes all of them sugars and stuff. It makes a huge difference in our attitudes. And I didn't really know that then. But like I said, I've been guided. And whatever kick I'm going to be on, of course, my kids, they're going to be on the same thing. I was the type of mother, honey, they had stacks of jar food, because when it became time for them to eat jar food, they was eating a breakfast one, a lunch one, and a dinner jar food, along with their bottles. I cared about what went into their system. I fed my kids, and I've always encouraged them as well to feed them babies food. Stop feeding them all that junk. Feed them food. Stop just throwing a bottle in their mouth and expecting them to be full. Feed them food when it's time. And stay on it. But they too lazy. They don't have time to feed them the jar food. Like they ate, and I'm talking about all the way up until when it started becoming little bits of pieces of meats and rice and peas and all that kind of stuff in the jar. They was eating on a regular like that. 3 jars a day, all of them. They had their oatmeal or rice, whichever, bananas, whichever one. And still to this day, I'm doing that. And I was doing that for my grandkids as they mama. As I was keeping her, the one that we're talking about, those 2 youngest ones. I'm mixing bananas and applesauce, everything. A delight that she enjoys to this day. The grandchild. Because I was doing it for their mother. I was. And let's get to these last kids. Here it is. He drug me into court because I happened to get a refund check of his. Back paid from all the child support that he owed. That upset his family because it was something that maybe they were looking for and didn't expect for it to be confiscated. But it was. And it came to where it needed to come to. Well, that really got the ball rolling because, like I said, CPS is being called on me. I'm being subpoenaed at work and everything. At my job, I got all this stuff going on. The devil is after me yet again. So we go to court. He wins. Because while I'm at home, they make arrangements to call and get them together in the judge's chamber and ask them where do they really want to be. Because see, with their father, they got the kids thinking that they're afraid of me when they know my discipline. If anything, before I put my hands on them or whoop them, I yell. I yell. Fuss. But never too much whooping unless they truly needed it. Unless I'm tired of saying the same old thing. And if I say the next time I have to tell you, you're going to get a whooping, then that's what I mean. Like that. And then they're not getting the whooping for the same thing all the time. So they're barely getting whoopings. It's just a lot of yelling and fussing. Me not want to be bothered with them. You know, just as long as I'm taking care of them. Leave me alone. You got everything that you need. I'm trying to provide you to make you as comfortable. Because they did. They had everything that they needed. It was no reason for them to be in the next room even fighting with each other. Like that. But yet, they never came across as children that seemed to be afraid of me. And especially the youngest one. Maybe the boy, he was timid. He was very timid. And don't worry, your secret is safe with me. Because his father always wanted to just hold him and pick him up and baby him all the time. He would pick him up. You know why? Because he looks a whole lot like me. And for some reason, he can't seem to stand the daughter that looks just like him. But he loves the son that looks like me. The closest thing that he got to me. He cherishes that son. Oh, he has another son too, but my son, he cherishes that son, honey. That's me. He got a little piece of me. If he couldn't have me, well, he got something. He needed something to know. Oh, well, if I can't say nothing else, I got a child with her. That's grand for him. Grand, even though they don't want it to look like that. When the dad used to be the main one letting them know she's a good mother. She's a good mother, because I was. When he came and got them, I ain't need for him to tell me nothing. His clothes was packed up, ironed out, both of them, ready to go. You just pull out whichever outfit you need for them to wear, honey. And don't forget to mention the style that those men and all men that I've been with, they still carry the same style to this day. Check that T. Clock that T. Their style of dress, I gave it to them. Plaid, their dad. He might be real fond of plaid. Go clock it. Because I gave him that style. Because he didn't know nothing about it. Nothing. Just like this strange husband of 4 years. Polo type shirts. Gave him that style. Took him up out of those ghetto tees from the bazaar. Them blinged out. You know, walking around here 40 years old with money blinged out on your shirt with gold tee. You know, all of them. I gave them their style. And they still walk around here dressed in the style that I gave them. I'm that good. But they won't tell you that. I'm here to tell you, because it's my story. Your man still wearing plaid, I gave him that, honey. I gave him that. It suits him well, the white boy that he is. Khakis and plaid. I gave him that. And this strange husband, polo shirts. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But then I'm the bad person. They need to see me once again. Once again. And I'm going to end it right here, guys. And we're going to come back for part 2. They need to see me.